To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So I'm back at the tiny house again today, and it's a gloomy, cloudy day, raining, which I've been expecting for about 2 or 3 days now. It's the first time the weatherman's been right since we started building this, since I got the walls, I should say, up. I remember one time when I was putting the trusses on, I was building the trusses. I had to build 9 of them. I think I had like 3 of them, and all of a sudden it started raining. And I checked the weather, and they hadn't even changed the weather app yet to say it was raining when it was actually raining. So I'm glad that they predicted this one correctly, because it gave me time to plan out what I wanted to do today. But first of all, I wanted to show you once again Carolyn's heat-treated pallet board wall. It's coming along just beautifully. So this really kind of wraps up her wall. She's just got this little spot right over here. It's not even necessary that she does that wall, because it's going to be covered up with tin metal. But she wanted to do the whole wall. A lot of people said, oh, you're wasting wood and you're doing this, you're doing that. For example, like the shower, somebody said that we shouldn't have put pallet wood where the shower is. But Carolyn wanted to do it that way. I think specifically to continue to get the staggered look. Also, with the place being so small, we could actually move things around, like the shower. And I know you're gonna think, wow, how is it gonna move the shower? You know, you got plumbing and all that. The plumbing's gonna be very flexible. We got this on-demand water heater that we can just hook hoses up to. It works great. We've been using it in the camper for 3-4 years. I guess 4 years now. And it just works great off the RV pump. So we can move things. Of course, there'd be a hole in the floor. So, I mean, there was a lot of things that we had considered. We wanted to be flexible since the place is so small that if we did put something somewhere and it didn't work, we still had the ability to make changes. The only thing we can't change, which was pretty much set in stone, I'm not moving it, is the wood stove. Of course, you know, we have this big hole in the roof, so I'm never going to move that. That's permanent. However, I'm very satisfied with its location, because first we're going to get the glass ambiance, you know, the fire ambiance while we're laying in bed or over here working at the desk. Also, when you open the door and that big gust of cold air comes in, the wood stove actually kind of acts as a shield towards that. So I'll come outside and I'll try to dodge the raindrops as much as possible. But as you know, I got 2 walls done now. I got this wall and the one on the other side done. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to start working on the gable end. The gable end is very concerning to me because I got so many cuts to do. I got to lay the panel up, I got to do angle cuts, so I have to measure over 3 feet, 1 or 2 inches, or whatever the panel is. The first panel, I think, comes over to just this side of the window. So not only do I have to cut an angle out, I'll have to put J-channels up, and I'll have to cut the window out also. Now what a J-channel is it's a little channel that the metal roof will go into, the metal roofing material will slide into. A lot of windows have them, but this particular window doesn't. So when I was putting the other walls on, these had J-channels already on them. So I can demonstrate how this works. See, the metal goes right inside the J-channel. So as water comes down, it just runs down. The only place you have to caulk is this corner right here. Because if water comes down on that, it could have gotten inside the metal there. But everywhere else, the J-channel channels it out away from the inside. So my project today is to put a door right here. Originally, we had considered having a swinging door that comes out just like a regular door. The problem is trying to get hinges to work on these humps. I just could not figure out an easy way to do that. I'm sure if I had a bench and all the nice equipment, I could figure something out, but I don't. I have a generator, a couple saws, and a drill. I mean, that's the extent of my workshop. And I don't ever intend to do anything different because I'm a minimalist. So that means I have to think creatively and think outside the box. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hinge it where it swings up, and then I can just put a latch here and latch it in open position. I wanted to make it look nice. I've worked so hard at making the whole place look nice. I didn't want to do a yucky job with, some stupid hinges. So what I decided to do was go buy some gate hinges or barn door hinges, something a little decorative. So this is what I decided to get. That's 2 hinges. I think it's going to look neat when you hang it up It's gonna swing up. I really like that. So I gotta figure out a way to attach it. There is the piece of metal right there that was cut out of that hole. Instead of running it this way, I'm gonna run it this way, and then it'll swing up. All I gotta do then is just put some 1x4s under here, attach 1x4s to it. That'll give the hinge something to hang on to. Of course, I'm gonna box the whole thing in with 1x4s. That way it's got structure and it won't flap around like that. One of the things that a lot of people have told me about is how the rain is gonna drive us nuts off that metal roof. It's just so noisy, so loud, you're not gonna be able to stand it. Well, I rented a house, very inexpensive rent too. It was on 8 acres. It was like $350. It was real cheap per month. It had a tin roof on it. It didn't have insulation in the attic. As a matter of fact, the first winter was there, insulated it. But so we were there an entire spring and summer before winter came around. And yeah, you could hear the rain. Severe thunderstorms, I mean, it was kind of noisy. You could hear it. But I don't think it was deafening the way people have told me. But I've been in this thing twice now. The last one was a pretty serious thunderstorm. You can't hardly hear anything with this R19 insulation in between me and the roof. Now that's just one layer of insulation. I intend to go ahead and put insulation on the roof itself, on the inside in the attic, so we can have a loft. It's gonna be a loft where we can store things. It's not gonna be an attic, it's a loft. I've taken you up there twice now, trying to give you the vision of what it looks like. Right here, although you're not gonna be able to really see, is I have a hatch here that we can open. I'm gonna also use those barn door hinges for that too after we get the tin. But this one you might be able to see a little better. I have a hatch. I have 2 hatches that we can get into our loft. Heck, we should be able to sleep up there. So I got this hatch right here sitting down here. I just put a piece of insulation up there to keep it warmer down here when we start the fires. That way we have ventilation. It'll go completely through the entire loft area. I will tell you though, I'm very happy to have the metal roof on. Here it is raining and I didn't have to go hang a tarp up. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on today's project. So this is Carolyn's new battery operated Black & Decker circular saw. It's undersized. It's, what is that, 5 inches? I think it was 5 inches. It works great. I mean, you just saw it just cut through that little piece of 1x4 like it was nothing. It couldn't do larger things, I would think. You know, it's not designed for heavy construction, but it's really nice just for the odds and end jobs. And I haven't used the circular saw to cut wood since we've gotten this. The only thing I think is a little odd about it is it's backwards. The blade should be on this side. I think it's probably a left-handed saw. I went back on Amazon to see if they had a right-handed saw, but that's it. This is all they got. Just found it odd. So there it is. It's not perfect, but I never expected it to be perfect. That's why I painted it. I got a little paint there. That's the same color as the soffit plate. So when it dries, it'll blend in real nice. But I think it looks pretty good. But at least now it's all closed in. That was really bugging me. Of course, I'm kind of OCD about things like that, where that's all the stuff that we had to pull out from underneath it. So ignore the stuff. But I'm kind of OCD and getting things closed up and finished. Every day I try to work towards finishing this, every day. Even if it's just for a few minutes. Like today, it was raining, it's gonna rain all day. I wanted to do something, so I got that done. And if I hadn't have done it today, it may have never gotten finished. If I just said, let's take a day off, we may be moved in and it won't even get done. Eventually I'm gonna buy the tin for the ceiling, and so on rainy and cold days, I'll be in there putting tin up. So I'm glad I got that done. Now we've been thinking about this side over here and the flashing going all the way down to the ground. We won't be able to do that here because of this right here is in the way. And I didn't see that when I ordered the material. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna run the material down to here, right here, and stop. And then we're gonna build the porch eventually, you know, after the house is done. And once we get the porch on, then I'll finish the flashing. I'll be able to add something underneath the porch to finish up the flashing. So the entire house will be closed in, keeping all that cold air blowing in under there. It sure is coming together. I hope I can encourage you to work a little bit each day, even on rainy days, to achieve your dreams. Thanks for watching.